Hello friends. Today we are going to go over our math activity. This is going to be the lesson that's connected to the activity that you will do. The activity is this sheet here and it says counting two ways. And so what it's asking is for you to take some kind of a counting collection that you have. Now this can be Lego, it can be rocks, it could be marbles, it could be any kind of little types of toys that you have, but a whole bunch of. Today I've got all of these different types of wooden shapes. If you have those at home, you can. If you have cubes or blocks or anything like that. And we're going to try to use two different ways of being able to count them. And then after that, I'm going to either use pictures or words or numbers onto this sheet, whatever I want, to be able to explain the two different ways that I use to be able to count this pile of blocks. Now, if you're in grade 1, it doesn't have to be a whole bunch. If you're in grade 2 or if you're in grade 1 and you want to challenge yourself a little bit, you can do a bunch. Because in grade 2, you're counting up into 100, which is kind of crazy. But we're adding double digits in a lot of different ways. So this would be one of them for grade 2. So what we're going to start off by doing is looking at our pile of counters. And we're going to do an estimate. And an estimate is our very best guess. So we want to take a look at all of them. And when we're looking at them, we're going to think about different things like, I've got a lot of small ones. And then I've got only a few larger ones. And then I've got a bunch of middle-sized ones that are together. So I've got to take that into account because if there were a lot of smaller ones, there would be more there. If there were a lot of bigger ones, they would be less because they would take up less space. So I'm gonna guess, that maybe my estimate, my very best guess, is gonna be like, I'm gonna say there's 32 altogether in here. That's gonna be my estimate. So when I go on my sheet, I'm gonna write, spill the objects. My objects are all on the table, and I'm gonna estimate my number. My number here that I'm gonna say it's 32. And then I'm going to start to do my counting. Now, I'm going to do counting in a way, you know what? I think that I'm gonna separate these into, I don't know, how should I count them? I'm gonna count them in a way where, maybe I'm gonna do this by 5s because I can count by 5. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I've got 1, 2, 3 that are left. Now I'm going to take a look here and I'm going to say, what did I say that it was? I said that it was 32. Well, let's take a look. Now if we take a look here, we've separated them by 5. So that means that I can count by 5s. I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. So if I wanted to write how many eye counters that I have in one way, I would write by fives. I could write 5 plus 5, because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 5. 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, and do it 8 times, and then after I would do plus 3, and then it equaled to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 43. So that would be my first way that I had counted. But I want to be able to do both. Now, I estimated 32, but really there's 43. So I was out, how many? I was out 11 altogether, which isn't too bad. So let's go back, and I'm going to try a different way of being able to count. You know what? I'm going to, I think, just do this a little more simply, and I'm going to count by dividing them into, I guess, larger and smaller blocks. So I'm going to say the red and the yellow are the larger blocks, so I'm going to put those into one pile, and then I'm going to sort the smaller blocks, and the smaller blocks are going to be these regular wood color blocks, the blue, the green, and then I've got one orange. I'm going to put that in there too. So this is going to be a little bit different because I'm just going to count one number and then one number. So we can count, I'm going to put my objects together again, and I'll go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. Now, and I'm going to say 22, and then I'll say plus, right? Because we're breaking this down, and we can go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. Oh, look at that. Okay, it's split right in half. What was the chances of that? 22 plus 22 equals, now the easiest way we can do this is we can just count. We know that this is 22, so we can go 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. So 22 plus 22 equals, I don't have enough room over there, 44. And so I can fill the objects, and I can use words here. So I could say big shapes plus small shapes, and then I could write underneath 22 big shapes plus 22 small shapes equals 44 altogether. So you can think of all different ways. You could count by ones, you could count by twos, you can count by fives, you can count by tens. You can do anything that your brain can kind of figure out to be able to add up your counters. But make sure that you're estimating. And even after you start to put your counters in piles, it does ask you to look back at your estimate, at the number that you estimated. And if you want to change the number before you count it and figure it out, you can. So feel free to do that as well. But this gives us a really great opportunity to count some really big numbers if you'd like to, and to do it in different ways. I can't wait to see how creative you are with your counting. Have fun with this, enjoy, and I look forward to seeing it.